software developer, if you're building anything with generative AI, I'm sure we might have hit into the number one issue with these models: hallucination. Hallucination happens when these models are just essentially trying to make things up. This is the number one reason that companies are not willing to deploy AI to customers. This is also the number one reason that your LLM applications cannot be trusted just yet. But what if I told you that now there is a practical, technically grounded way to control hallucinations in a drastic manner in your LLM applications? In this video, you will learn why hallucinations happen even in the most advanced models, exact developer techniques that can drastically reduce hallucinations in your application by making a few changes to your prompt and pipeline. By the end, you will also know 3 important safeguards to protect your LLM application. Number 1, forcing logic through chain of thought. Number 2, ensuring accuracy through self-consistency. And number 3, eliminating messy answers through structured output. Now let's get back into the early days of LLM. Think of 2021, 2022, when hallucination was quite constant and frequently bizarre. For example, you might have asked it for the capital of Mars, and it would have confidently replied you with Olympus City, and also provided you a fabricated history to back it up as well. But look at the models today. I ran a random test where I wanted to trick the model into fabricating specific Gatorade flavors and also a CEO quote. But I was pleasantly surprised that the model said, I cannot give this information from a credible source. And I think this new ability for the model to say, I don't know, is the biggest shift in foundation model capability. But the question is, what changed? The reason that these models are lying less is due to a process that goes beyond just feeding them data. After the models learn language from the entire internet and turn it into embeddings, it goes into a new phase of engineering called reinforcement learning from human feedback. In this technique, we employ a large amount of people across the globe, and their job is simple. They have to talk to the chatbot and critically rate its answers. The answers are rated based on quality, helpfulness, and most importantly, truthfulness. This human-rated data is then used to prefer answers that are helpful and ignore answers that seem false or we're not sure about. This installs a deep sense of rule sets that tells the model when to use the safety filter we just created and when not to. For example, if you ask a question like, who is the first president of the United States? The token words George Washington might appear in its training data set trillions of times, which makes it a high probability answer. But now think of the example that we earlier talked about, the 3 random Gatorade flavors and a CEO quote. Now in this case, these tokens are not that well related in its existing sets of embeddings and connections. So obviously the probability of one answer being completely correct might be low. In this case, the safety filter gets triggered. The model says, since I'm not that sure, hey, I cannot find a credible source for this. Well, that's a great progress from fabricating something that doesn't make any sense. But as a developer, we face a bigger challenge. When we use a foundation model, we often have to send it a complex prompt involving a 10,000 word document, thousands of lines of code, multi-step question. This obviously overloads the limited context window of the model, and hence the internal safety confidence filter gets diluted. The model is trained and also evaluated on general internet knowledge data. So with the introduction of these new tokens, the model may potentially go back into fabrication mode. So as developers, we need to engineer a few methods that are tailored to our specific challenges. The most effective tool that we have at our immediate disposal is forcing logic through chain of thought. In this technique, we tell the model to show its inner reasoning. Without chain of thought, model usually prefers answers that are statistically high probability. But with chain of thought, we force the model to prefer answers that have the longest, most consistent sequence of logical steps. This kind of rewarding mechanism might be helpful in many situations. Let me show you by an example. Suppose you make an internal HR LLM application and you ask it a simple question. Can this employee who was hired in February take a holiday blackout day off in November? And let's assume the answer to this question should be no. Without chain of thought, the LLM application may give the answer yes, because the model's behavior defaults to being a shortcut expert. It looks for the most statistically probable final answer. In this example, the model quickly sees February to March, which is 9 months. And it also sees the phrase, take a day off. Now, in its massive training data, an employee who was hired for 9 months is likely to be eligible to take a day off. Hence, it returns the answer as yes, because that's statistically higher probability. The token's holiday blackout rule gets completely ignored in this context. But with chain of thought, we are forcing the model to go step by step. So the thought one could be, check the hiring rule, which is 9 months minimum. So this part is met. So the thought 2 could be, check the holiday blackout policy. And that answer would have been no. So the final answer got to no. The self-attention mechanism of the model uses the tokens of the thought 1 to condition thought 2, and so on. For us developers, chain of thought already implemented in any LLM framework that you might be working with. It is included in LangChain's prompt template or Llama Index's query builder, where the system prompt variable includes that COT instruction. Let's think step by step. The second technique is to ensure reliability through self-consistency. This technique acts as an additional safety layer to what we're achieving through chain of thought. Because with any LLM, there is a little bit of noise or randomness attached to it. This means if you run the exact same prompt 2 or 3 times, the LLM model may give you 3 entirely different results. And this level of randomness or uncertainty might not be suitable for all kinds of applications. In this technique, instead of trusting one expert's opinion, we poll a committee. So the idea is we run the same COT prompt a couple number of times. And each time we change the temperature setting in the LLM's API call. It will force the model to explore different, more diverse thought sequences to the same prompt. We then use a simple algorithm to poll for a single answer, the one that occurred more frequently across all the runs. This eliminates the chances of a single random error on your LLM application. Finally, let's talk about how we can structure our LLM output better for code integration. This is important because the model usually replies back into huge text blocks. And as developer, it gets hard for us to parse certain parts of those text blocks that need to be directly integrated into our application code. But now, with specialized libraries and a lot of LLM frameworks out there, there are settings that can be tweaked to get JSON schema, for example, where as a developer, we can specify that within this query, we're expecting a variable called customer name that needs to be a string and an invoice number that needs to be an integer. This way, the LLM is forced to give back an answer into this structured schema. And since it's a lot less textual information, it is likely less to hallucinate. In the next video, we'll talk about how developers inject real-time, undeniable truth using Retrieval Augmented Generation, RAG. You don't want to miss that deep dive. Stay tuned. I'll see you in the next one.